Ready? Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys about ISIS, and before I jump into all the terrorist attacks that they've done and also what we should do about it, I want to give you guys some background. And starting off, I want to talk about Islam. It's extremely controversy whether or not Islam is actually a intolerant religion that ISIS have kind of claimed. According to McDad, a professor of economics at the Islamic University of Gaza, religion, and more specifically Islam, quote, arose to organize the lives of people on the divine basis of justice, tolerance, values, and ethics, quote. That doesn't necessarily justify the bombings and murders that ISIS perform. They tend to cherry-pick their verses, such as this one, Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and those who are with him are hard or ruthless against disbelievers and merciful among themselves. These are the types of verses that the ISIS claim when they perform their beheadings or bombings, shootings, whatever it is that they choose. However, that's not how the majority of Muslims read Islam or the Quran. Another major part of their background would be their Islamic State, which they established in 2011, right after the war in Iraq. We pulled out thinking that we had left Iraq stable, but that was only to leave Syria, came up and rebelled against their leader. And I can't pronounce his name, but he saw their caliph saw it as an opportunity to seize land in Syria. And that's how they established their Islamic State, where they now have not only military power, but a lot of civil power as well. It's since 2011, it's grown, and it's somewhere between 12,000 and 35,000 square miles. It's hard to say, according to Simon Cordell of the Newsweek Global. They have been successful in recruiting foreign nationals from roughly 90 different countries, around 20,000. And that's according to Michael Moore, the Central Intelligence Agency. And also, when they captured this territory, they also captured oil fields, which gave them huge economic power. So the question is, what can be done? Well, we need to destroy their economic power and also the recruitment. According to Archbishop Council Ned II, quote, nations must refuse to purchase or refine oil from any oil fields ISIS captures and must make every effort to liberate those fields. Also, countries should immediately revoke citizenship of those who leave home to fight with ISIS against the civilized world. Quote. Those 20,000 foreign nationals, they don't come from just other Muslim countries. They come from the United States, Canada, Australia, France, and we've seen this all over. Once they leave to fight with ISIS in Syria, they can come back. They have their citizenship still. It's easy for them to gain access. Also, their economic power, if we liberate the oil fields or quit buying oil from them, that will put them, they'll have to deal with poverty. They'll have a lot of issues at home that they're going to have to deal with, and it won't give them the luxury to go out and perform terrorist attacks in other countries. Terrorist attacks that have grown, that we've watched grow. I don't know if you guys can see, but ISIS is the top one. This was a number of terrorist attacks worldwide in 2015, and they over quadrupled any other terrorist group in the world. That's huge, and we've given them loose rein by letting them establish that economic power and their ability to recruit so many of foreigners from not only their countries, but our country. Of these attacks, as you can see, I'm sure all you guys have seen That's when they beheaded 21 Egyptian Christians. And then this one was actually Bastille Day in France. A radicalized Frenchman took a heavy goods truck and zigzagged it through a street full of men, women, and children, killed 84 after making it 1 mile. He drove through a street full of people, and he injured somewhere between 200 and 300. And then there's several more. The Orlando nightclub killing, the Boston Marathon bombing, San Bernardino, Paris, Brussels airport, and in Normandy, France, they invaded a church and put an 85-year-old priest down on his knees and slit his throat. That's sick. We should not be sitting back and letting this happen. Another thing, many of these attacks, we were warned. The Boston bombers, we were warned by Russia that they were here on political asylum. And both of the attackers were interviewed by the FBI before, but we released them. The San Bernardino shooter, she was on her visa from Saudi Arabia, and she showed support for jihad online, and also later after the attack, a neighbor reported having had suspicion of her prior to the attack, but never said anything because she was afraid that she'd be accused of racial profiling. Same goes for the Orlando shooter and Fort Hood shooter. They both showed many signs and warnings that we should have taken more seriously. So, I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering, thinking it doesn't necessarily have to do with you, but I just talked to a girl this morning. In that Bastille Day terrorist attack, she knew there was one man and his son there, his 11-year-old son from Texas. She knew them, and they were both hit by the heavy goods vehicle. While it may not have personally affected you yet, they definitely can. They're growing, and they're becoming more radicalized, and they're all around us. So I ask you guys, I'm sure that neighbor of the San Bernardino shooter didn't think that there was any way that she could have an ISIS supporter living next to her. But after she killed 14, I'm sure she's regretting having never said anything. So what I ask of you guys is to be aware. I know that you guys aren't going to go out and liberate oil fields or revoke citizenships, but just be aware. Don't be afraid to stand up and if you're suspicious about something. Definitely can't hurt. You could possibly save a life or several lives. I don't mean for you to stereotype, but don't be oblivious. Lastly, regardless of your political party and religious beliefs, do your part as a citizen of the United States and support your country. Every country has their own controversies and conflicts within them. But remember, while you may not agree with everything that your government does, the fight against ISIS is a fight that we should all be in together.